Hi, this is the reading for your mom, her wealth and well-being. I apologize for how long it's taken to bring you this reading. I'm not going to make any excuses because life's just been insane, and I'm not going to go into any of it. But let's get this done. Let's get you the advice and guidance you need for you and your mom, so you can both help each other out as well as possible, okay? And we're not communicating with any beings. We're only asking God, Source, Universe, Divine Spirit, your highest and greatest self, and your mother's highest and greatest self. We're all here to help, and we're only getting advice from them. No external parties or anything else. Just directly from Source, your mom's highest being, and yours. Alright? So what can you tell us that would benefit her mom in giving her the best advice and guidance so that she can receive her wealth and well-being quickly and efficiently for the greatest and highest good of all? What does she need to know? Patience. So first off, this tells you that your mom is going through something that she needs a lot of virtue with, a lot of, see the crown, a lot of nobility. See how the head chakra area is all lit up? It basically means you want to wait and support her positive aspects instead of what she's attempting to work on to dilute within herself. You don't want to have fiery wings going at her. You want the fiery wings being behind you, propelling you with a masculine kind of energy that is patient, loving, kind, and pure, where you know that she's going to be okay and everything's going to be better. And your emotions and hers are both stable. Both of your feet are close to each other. You're walking the same path. This flower is a narcissus. It grows in the spring, usually winter towards spring. It's one of the first flowers to pop up. If just this card alone was giving you a time frame or an estimate, I would say by March next spring, March 2020, or 20, I think, we're going into 2020. Jeez. By March next year, there's going to be, the road towards all of that wealth is going to be opened up by you and her mixing your cups together. Your stability and her emotionalness or lack of emotionalness, or your emotions and your free-flowing movement through life with her stability and inability to move forward. You bring those two together and some alchemical response happens, to where she learns and you learn something, and both of your cups are brought together, and in turn, down the road a few months or a few weeks depending, you both get exactly the energetic vibration that you're looking for. Wealth, stability, prosperity, happiness, possibly even love. This could also be that she's dealing with some deep-rooted pain that she doesn't know how to deal with. Maybe someone hurt her in her past that she never talked to you about. Maybe she's been, the Three of Wands came up and almost looked over. Maybe she's waiting for something, or she's had a habit of waiting for people in her life to make the move for her while she keeps herself in a state of martyr, like a victim state, so that other people can help her, so that they can benefit. The Empress. So the Empress on her own means fertility and creativity and all sorts of creation and power and stability, right? This means you're waiting for something to come in. You've been given the gift, you've made the choice to move in the proper direction for yourself, and now you're waiting. This is another card of waiting. this is also another card of waiting. This card has the masculine triangle on it. This card has the feminine symbol of Venus. This card shows her holding the scepter, which is also a phallic looking symbol, while this androgynous angel is holding 2 cups, the feminine symbol, mixing them together. So between you and your mother, mixing your energies together with a positive male aspect that moves the energy through you, you both result in being extremely successful before the next harvest, which is usually around Virgo season, September or so. Now, what does this say exactly to do, right? If it's just basic directions, what is this telling you to do? Balance your mind and your heart. The intention that you specifically have for your mother to help her be in a better state of living, basically, to have more wealth in her life. In order for her to have more wealth in her life, you have to balance your ability to flow with wealth. Instead of thinking that wealth is the end-all to solve her emotional problems, you're being asked in your reality, the way you perceive things and the way you perceive her, instead of perceiving her as someone lacking wealth, you're perceiving her as someone who has all the wealth in the world, because I apologize for the camera angle. My setup is completely messed up right now. She already has the wealth, is what I'm saying, or what's being said for you. She already has access to all of the wealth that she could ever want. The Empress and Temperance, she's set, yo. She's really set. She just doesn't realize it, and you don't see it in her. So the way she shows up in your reality, due to everybody being you pushed out, the universe being your reflection, which also means your mother is reflecting back at you what you think of her. And you seem to have a thought within you that says she's very simple, plain, maybe she has some emotional issues, maybe she gets temperamental sometimes and she doesn't know, how to move forward because she's always providing for everybody except herself, and she's waiting for other people to provide for her. Or some variation of that, right? Or she could just be a giant, negative person, and you're constantly the anchor in her life, bringing her back to a more solid, stable state. Either way, in order for her to be able to move towards abundance, you see how this is kind of female, this is female, but what seems like male, I hope that this can, okay. The male is allowing the female energy to do what it needs to do, which means your masculine energy, which is also depicted here with the triangle, has to change the way it looks at the mother. It's basically a psychological form of mother issues. Maybe your dad was really, really a go-getter, really dominant and masculine in his portrayal of himself, which made your mother kind of take a back seat, and then you were the one who stayed in between trying to balance the cups. Take the masculine father out of the situation for just a minute, and look at your mother for the woman that she is and everything that she's provided, without your judgment as her child. Look at her as her own being, as her own empress. Whatever she's going through right now is temporary. And with you thinking that she is struggling in any way, it is keeping her in a waiting format to where her prosperity gets farther and farther away the more you think that she's lacking that prosperity, because you and your mother are linked in a very deep way, actually. So the more you think that she's lacking it, the more she's gonna be lacking it, and that wheat gets stunted in growth down there, while she's pointing the scepter up trying to make it work in her own way. You're there thinking that she doesn't have it, and you're waiting for her to have it, but she's actively trying to do something in her own world to try to make it happen. All in all, you're both conflicting. That's why these cups are being poured into each other. You're being asked to see from her point of view, and before you ask her to see from, before you switch, it's you that has to change the perception of what you see her as. If you see these 3 wands here, if you spend 3 days thinking and really believing and imagining your mom being a friggin' empress, that she can do whatever she wants and do no wrong, 3 days of those thoughts being emitted back and forth, that your mom's rich, your mom's wealthy, your mom has everything she's ever wanted, she's happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, she knows how to make money, she's balanced in everything she does. If you change those words about her, the outcome will be, within 3 days, that she will exhibit more and more and more Empress-like qualities. But as long as you yourself, with your thoughts being shown here in the angel's head, if you with your thoughts cannot change, you see how this flag looks like a race flag on the shawl? If you can't pause the racetrack of your mind to allow more beneficial thoughts to flow towards your mother, about your mother, then nothing she does will ever change it, because she is a character in your story. When you're not around her, she's a character, she's the main character in her own story. When you are around her, she takes a secondary seat to your character. I hope that makes sense, because it's the whole thing about you creating your own reality. In your own reality, your mom seems to be lacking wealth. But in your mom's reality, she's not lacking wealth, and her emotions are faltering due to a masculine energy in her life. But from your point of view, it looks like she's lacking wealth and she's unhappy. And that if she had wealth, she would be happy. But the thing is, you're the one that would be happier if your mom had wealth, and if you had wealth. So that you're trying to get, in some way, permission from your mother on a very angelic realm kind of way to give her the money so that she's happy, so that you feel allowed to have happiness in your own life. Because that way you won't feel like you've done better than your mother, who you think very highly of. So you're trying to get her to have her wealth first before you have your wealth. But what you're not seeing is that if you end up being really successful first, it would make your mother infinitely more happy, because she will feel like she succeeded as a mother to help raise a very healthy, successful, wealthy child. So you're both waiting for the other one. Your mom's waiting for you to make the money to support her in some way. You're waiting for your mom to make the money to give permission to you to make the money too, because then you won't feel like you're doing better than your mom. You're a really kind person. I'm just going to tell you that right now. That's really, really big of you, but at the same time, you're being a martyr. You being successful first will make your mom infinitely more happy, in which she will instantly come into all that money. Because a mother seeing a child happy is way more beneficial than you creating a business for her, or her starting her own Etsy shop. So I'm going to do one more card here, and then we're going to grab another deck. Star at the bottom of the deck. Everything's okay. You just have to see your mom in a different way. You have to see yourself in a different way. Everything you want is there for you already. You just have to allow yourself to receive it. And these came out, so that's my right arm to you, and that's my left arm to you. So this came first, this came second. But the way they look like to me is like this, okay? So if we flip them, it's like this. But this came first. So the King of Wands talks about a player, a creative person, a very powerful, passionate, attractive, go-getter type of man who knows how to handle power. Massive amounts of power, massive amounts of fiery emotions, and It feels like this could be your brother, your father, or her brother, your mom's brother, or her father. Either way, it is a masculine feeling energy that is almost like not really supportive of you guys, but he's doing the work, providing the money, doing what he needs to do, but he stays out of your business with your mom. See how he's kind of wearing the same color robe as this one in the Three of Wands? He's kind of waiting, and he's holding the fourth wand, which will give you stability in your home life and family life, possibly even a marriage. So regardless of who this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius maybe person is, because it's a fire sign, and remember that they can also be other sign like planets in the zodiac, so it's not just sun, moon, or ascendant. It could be Venus or Jupiter or Saturn or Mars, wherever the planet is, right? This could also be a message to me that your Mars, planet Mars in your chart, you should do more things with that to actually move yourself forward. So the more you move forward, the more you create and run a business, and the more you're feeling attractive and beautiful and bringing things and providing things. The fire, what does fire do? Fire creates warmth, it creates an ambiance. It is a catalyst of destruction and a catalyst of healing. It disinfects, it burns, it cooks your food, it burns your food. It warms your house, it dries your clothes. It destroys forests, but it warms water. It's a very water and fire balancing point in one person, because the human body is made of water predominantly, but it's maintained by a spiritual fire. And the King of Wands has that kind of very balanced within him or her. And again, with the balance point being the Two Cups, and patience, which is, patience is not something the King of Wands has. And the Eight of Pentacles is putting in the work, putting in the effort, realizing what it is you need to do to bring balance to the 5 points of each star: earth, air, fire, water, and your spirit. If it was, more quantum physicist-y, or your body, just your own body, the causal body, the auric body, the mental body, the physical body, the emotional body, the subconscious, bringing balance to all of those aspects of yourself, which means, in basic day-to-day terms, quit worrying about all of these other things and look within yourself and acknowledge the beliefs you have that show you a more, and I hesitate to use this word, a more victimized version of people. There's something in you that you have to acknowledge first before any of these people in your life change. Because you are the one perceiving them in this way. Whether they are this way or not, it doesn't seem like it. Because if they were poor people, if they were like destitute or not well off, this card wouldn't have come up. This card wouldn't have come up. This card wouldn't have come up. And this card wouldn't have come up. So the fact that the Three of Wands came out, the Empress of all cards came out to describe your mother, the King of Wands as a catalyst character in the story of what's happening here, and then the Eight of Pentacles, the only issue seems to be the way you're perceiving them, not who they actually are. If you would look at your mother as an empress of a nation, and what she was going through on a day-to-day basis of what you're experiencing from her, I think you would get a very different look at how powerful your mother actually is as a person. And instead of focusing on her wealth, you would focus on her emotional well-being, to see what's going on with her emotionally to make her in a way feel inadequate to create that money, with this Eight of Pentacles here. And if you are if this is solely just about you, which I seem to think and see here in the cards that this is about you, not about your mom, which is very strange. If you would look at her, if you, like, you know how when you think of your mom, one of the thoughts seems to be that she's poor, or she could use more money, which would make her happier, right? If you would change that thought into, my mom has plenty of money and she's going through something that is helping her become a better version of herself, then it's like the water that you're in that's making you feel like she's poor changes into some like champagne where you're like, oh, she's fine, she's just dealing with this, and then she's going to be even better afterwards. A change of perception. But it's not them that need the change of perception. This guy has his back turned. She has her back turned, the Empress. The Three of Wands has his back turned, and the Eight of Pentacles has his back turned, and he's working. The only person looking ahead towards me is the Temperance card, or the only person actually looking forward other than the Empress is the Temperance card. The Empress is looking at me. The Temperance card has its eyes closed. This card came out to describe you, the Temperance card. So it's saying that you're not seeing what's in front of you because your eyes are closed. Everyone around you is fine. It's you and your thoughts that need the work. And the Empress card is just sitting pretty right here, looking at the reader, me, in her robe and her, beautiful gown, comfy, cozy, in a forest with everything around her, sitting pretty on her feminine energy. The King knows it's okay. He's not even like wasting his time trying to figure this stuff out. He's busy working. The Empress is busy working on things that you're completely unaware of, while you're thinking they all need the help, but you're just being a good child. But the best way you can be a good child is to really open up your eyes and see them all for who they are. And acknowledge that the thoughts within you that you're thinking with your eyes closed are in a way giving you a false impression of who they are. And it all starts with your thoughts. Look at how much crown and light around the head there is. Emotions and water being thoughts. Another crown. A crown with lights. This guy is lost in thought, working. This guy is so far lost in thought, he's looking in the distance waiting for ships to come in on sand. Like, no one's paying attention to what you're paying attention to because they all seem to think it's fine. Which means the only person worrying about all this is you, which is just stressing you out. And the best way for you to change it is to change your thoughts. There are great affirmations you can tell yourself. And if you look up Neville Goddard, Neville, Goddard, you can start really intending and manifesting a better life for your mom, and it will happen. And the easiest way is, think of a scene you want to experience that would tell you your mom is okay. So it will be like your mom coming to you and having a bunch of grocery bags or shopping bags of like beautiful dresses and clothes, and maybe she comes to you and says, oh, I have this beautiful trip planned. Do you want to go with me? I'll buy you first class tickets, and we'll pay for the hotels and everything where we're going. That would give you a sense of like, she's okay, she's happy, she's wealthy, right? Or maybe if they bought a brand new house, or if they sold the house and went road tripping, or if they bought another house somewhere and started building a homestead. Imagine something in your mind, in your emotions, and then really feel it, and then release it into the water of the universe. Because your mom's fine. Let me get these. Let me get some fairy oracle cards here and see what else they got to say. Is there anything else you can tell us? God, source, spirit, her guides, her highest self, her truest self, that would help lady watching give her mom the best life ever, either through communication, through spirit, through energy. What advice do you have to give to this person's mom or to herself regarding her wealth and well-being. You know, there could also be a guy in your mom's life that's ignoring her, and it's causing her to just focus on like pointless, busy work while she's waiting for some emotional connection. So somebody could like, and I don't mean this in a vulgar way, but your mom really could use some intimacy. It doesn't even have to be from a man. Or like, I'm not saying gay or lesbian, but you can have an intimate conversation with somebody over dinner. You can have a beautiful walk on the beach. You can take her to a forest like is shown in this Empress card. You can take her by a lake. You can even get her some sex toys. It's never too late for that stuff. She's human. She has needs and things that she's ignored. She's turned her back to for a while. And maybe it would be a really funny thing for you if you go to like a, you know, adult toy store with her and just have a really fun time. Change it around a bit. Work on things with your mother. Put effort into experiences with your mother that will help her feel more like herself and less like there is a man that turned his back to her. Or this could also be, again, right with you thinking these things in your mind, which is projecting them into the reality. So you could think that you have a dad that didn't like her and left her alone to do all the housework while she waited for him to come back, and he probably cheated and left. And it's causing her to feel some kind of negative way, and then you feel the weight of it because you were probably, one of her first or early children, or the baby that saw all the pain happen, or most of the pain. And the answer, again, seems to be the same thing. Focus on how you perceive her. Change the thoughts, change the emotions regarding how you feel about your mother. If you feel she's weak and victimized and not okay, change that first. Because otherwise you're going to have to wait for something to happen in her life for you to change how you think. And that's the ass backwards way. That's like looking in the mirror and combing your mirror instead of combing yourself to change the mirror. So what you're doing by trying to fix your mom, her situation, is combing the mirror like this. And you're like, why isn't my mom changing? Why does she seem unhappy? But the issue is you're actually intending for your mom to be unhappy, unwell, blah, 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 you know? And what you want to do is go to your mom and be like, I love you, you're great, you're amazing, you're wealthy, you're healthy. Here's, a crystal, it'll help you bring more money into your life. Here's a feather, here's something, right? Change the way you think about her, and the way she shows up in your life will change. This is how miracles are made. Singer of courage. Have the courage to see and feel that everything you are connected to is still a part of you. You notice how there's like wings right here? And it looks like a dragon kind of right here in the middle flying. And it has these it's pushing this cap or a bell off of it. I've never actually noticed this before. And if you look really zoomed out, it looks like a deer or a doe. You're being asked to grow internally. The darkness you were in doesn't exist. It was just a lack of your own light. And now that you see all these strands and strings connecting you to everyone, and you see your own power within you, utilize it to uplift and to create less boundaries for how they appear in your life. The 8 is also a number of success, abundance, prosperity, infinity, loops, cycles, which means, sorry, I'm just counting these. There's 2, hold on one second. My apologies, someone came to the door. There's a lot of 8s here, which means you're looping on yourself, kind of like how I'm looping on this reading by going right back to the way you think about things. The abundance is already there. The prosperity is there. The well-being is there. The good health is there. You're just being asked to have the courage to accept that version of your family already. You can even see it here, how it's like both going up and down in this way. It's like you've looked at it from all these different points of view, and you think that the issue is more money for her. The issue is you're thinking that she doesn't have enough money already, which is keeping the money away from her. I'm really seeing it in these cards. If you would spend some time connecting with your mother and seeing a different side of her, you would see just how wealthy she actually is. And it has nothing to do with money. You're the one that would benefit from having the money more than she would, because you would be able to help her more than she would be able to help herself, for now. So if you really want to be supportive of her and see her happy, make that money yourself, sis. Make it yourself. She of the Kruach. This is the divine feminine of the deck. This is the cosmic mother, the divine mother, the mother of everything. So when the originator created like the first thing, this is the first expression, and then the male aspect came with it. Kind of, sort of, basic way, right? That's like the mom, the first mom. Have the courage, the singer of courage, to connect with the singer of connection, to the mother. Oh, maybe you feel that you aren't a good enough mother because of a lack of money or funds or something. And sweetheart, you're a perfectly great mother. Just stop worrying. Look, Lady of the Harvest. And we talked about the harvest here by next year. Let go of the rotting fruit in your life that is causing decay in the family that you have. It's just making more work for them to work harder because you keep thinking that there's dirt all around you and decay. When really it's just the harvest. Just cycles and phases of things that happen. And if it's been a phase that's lasted over 8 years or over 3 years of poverty kind of, or issues of money, what were you doing in those 3 to 8 years that contributed to that state of poverty? Or what thoughts were you having or beliefs that you've ingrained in yourself that would in any way contribute to feeling poverty or lack or victimization? Whatever those are, get rid of them. Get a piece of pen and paper out and write down what you think and feel of your mother. And even the negative ones, and then turn the negative ones into positive. Like if you think she's, unattractive, write down she's beautiful and attractive. If you think she's poor, write down she's rich. And then every day for 3 days, read the list of positive attributes. Burn the negative ones, or don't give it away. Like, give it to the elements. Burning it would be better because you're releasing the energy into the other elements. 4 of Wands, 4 of Coins, 10 of Cups. The stability you want, the family you want, everything you want for your mom and dad is already there. You just have to let go of that fear of not enough, of keeping people trapped in how you see them, of controlling the work others are doing so that you can feel that you're providing the most because of your worry and concern. This is a really powerful card, and for it to come up in between the 4 of Wands and the 10 of Cups, it says that the issue between a stable home life and a happily ever after for everybody is someone who's afraid of letting go. And what you're being asked to let go of is the connection you have with waiting for something better instead of acknowledging what's here now, and that everything really is okay. Your mom's happy. Your mom's okay. Deep down inside, you know this is true. You know that the scary thoughts in your head that tell you there's not enough, or that, you have to protect yourself or other people, or that she's old, or that there's not enough money and you have to sacrifice from yourself to give to her, and all of that, you know it's not true. Your mother raised you well. She raised a beautiful daughter that has a very golden, kind heart. And all you have to do, truly as simple as it sounds, is just change the way you think about her. She's had a very amazing life, sweetheart. And the best gift you can give her is the gift of your happiness, of your success. What other advice do you have, please, before this video cuts out? What's the best thing, the best advice you can give our dear sister watching to be able to assist her mother? The Nine of Wands and the Two of Swords. A decision being made. Now the decision is between, are you the unicorn, the true being with a beautiful, magical soul and potential that someone had to put a bunch of false beliefs onto so that you could see yourself as who you truly are? Or are you who you truly are, and you're there to support other people into seeing that the world is actually a very beautiful, magical place? Sometimes we need to have a little delusion and illusion to see that everything's been okay all along. Sometimes we're on the other side of the gate looking at the magic and beauty of what could be, and we have to just see a little bit of fakeness in order to see what's really there. The false horn on the real unicorn so that she can see the real unicorn. And what you're doing, this being you, you're looking at your mother and you're not seeing her as the real unicorn that she is. You keep thinking she's trapped and chained and she's broken and she can't go anywhere. But she's there to show you that even in that state, you can be happy, you can be okay, you can be safe. And together, once you two connect on a very intimate level, you will see again, look, indecision between thoughts, the new moon and the full moon, whichever, in the next 30 days basically. More eyes closed, more eyes closed. 2 cups, 2 swords. It's about the way you think and feel. It has nothing to do with the real world. And I apologize if that sounds harsh, but these issues are within you, not within your mom, and these cards show it. Because right here, it's showing you your mom and like someone she cares about. Maybe it was her previous husband or her current husband. I don't know the situation with you and your father. If he's your father or not, I don't know any of it. But it's your mom and somebody, and the unicorn, in reflecting in the water below. Maybe she has a sense of regret within her that she never lived up to what she could have lived up to. Or that she never, did some artwork or created something magical. Maybe she never wrote a book. But she always wanted to write a book. Either way, she's happy and content with her life. She just needs someone to acknowledge who she was before she had children, before she was changed and hurt. That version of her, that unicorn within your mom, needs to be free. And if you're going to help her, then you need to talk to her in a way where you talk to her as a friend, as her companion, as someone who still sees the unicorn in her. That way, when you see her and you have that communication, you won't feel torn anymore. You won't feel confused and powerless in attempting to help someone that doesn't need your help. She needs your strength. She needs your connection. She needs your heart. She needs your wisdom and patience. She needs your communication. and your experiences together, to go out for walks and do things and have a good time. Because the Four of Wands and the Ten of Cups, this is literally happily ever after. She was young and beautiful once, and she had this gorgeous life, very simple, with a husband and the love of her life, and she had a family. And then she grew older and quieter, and things changed, and she still remembers who she was and what could have been with her life. And in a way, that has been keeping her from moving forward and being the best of what she could be now, because she feels that in some way nobody sees who she used to be, and they only see what she is now. So in turn, the best thing you can do is go to her with physical eyes closed. You don't see who she was, or you don't see who she is. You don't see who you see her as. You see her as who she truly was, and is, and could be, because you have patience. You have foresight and hindsight. You have past and future. You have thoughts and emotions. You have it all, and you can see her clearly because you comprehend that the world is more full of wonder than just the moon and the sun. There's magic, there's intentions, there's law of attraction, there's so many things. Oh, this is beautiful. The energy I'm picking up on, like you and your mom are about to have some of the most beautiful conversations and experiences that you will remember for the rest of your life. The Hierophant, Two of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. Traditions, establishments, religions, things that are set that you're finding your way out of. Moving forward, but acknowledging the past. So again, talk to your mom about where she was. Have her open up and help her get over the water, bridge over troubled waters, and move forward with her. Don't make her move forward, because you can never make a horse move that doesn't want to move, especially a unicorn. So just be with her. Just be with her. Have fun with her. Talk about how it used to be when she grew up. Talk about what she liked doing when she was a kid. Talk about her hobbies and what she enjoyed cooking or eating when she was a teenager, before she had a husband, before she fell in love. Who was that woman deep down in history, and all of her neural networks and all of her deep spiritual connections, before she even met you, before she even met her, before she was even 15. There was stuff she liked doing. And maybe, just maybe, if you can connect her and remind her of what she liked doing before, she can find a hobby, and you can help her make an Etsy shop and connect her Etsy shop with modern society and, establishment, to help her create more money in her life. Even if it's something like crocheting pillowcases or something, or a blanket. Remind her of herself. Maybe teach her to meditate. But most importantly, see your mother for the woman she truly is, not the illusion of what you see her as. Because you're imprisoning her by how you view her. Because your thoughts have power. And if you think your mother weak, then your mother has no choice but to appear weak in your life. One more card. Let's do a different deck. The Knight of Wands. Do something fun and spontaneous with her. Take her out to a carnival or a fireworks show or something. My original deck that I made a while ago. So we're going to do an oracle card out of these for you, and then I'll close this up. It's too many. That. You're transforming, and so is she. The more you transform, the more she transforms. The more you change your thoughts, she changes her expression. The more you focus on giving her beautiful experiences that transform her sense of day-to-day living, the more she is rebirthed day to day in your experience of living. A beautiful home. Choose happiness. This life is your message to the world. Let it be extraordinary. Today is the day. Create happiness. Choose happiness, create happiness, even if you can just do something small like bake a cookie for someone. Make friends everywhere you go. Believe in your own power and your own thoughts. Surround yourself with love and take chances. Be spontaneous and make it beautiful. Sometimes some of the best memories you can have is just sitting somewhere with a cup of coffee talking to the person you love. And it changes the world. It changes everything. When I took this picture in my old home, I would be sitting with the love of my life right there. And to this day, almost 5 years later, I still remember them as some of the fondest memories in my life. And when I'm working, I sometimes feel like I'm still in that home. And it helps inspire me to do even better. I remember when this was bought, and it was just a simple decoration. And we went to the store and picked it up, and the first thought was that we've transformed, we've changed, we've evolved. And when I brought it home, I wrapped it up in lights and illuminated it. And all we did that day was go to Chipotle and then go to Home Goods, like a decoration shop. We weren't even planning on doing anything fancy. It was just getting in the car and going out to drive. Simple moments. Simple moments lead to great pleasures, my dear. Okay, let's see. What other deck can I use to give you one more message? I hope this has helped you, darling. I really hope this has helped you. Pope Joan, the pontiff of possibilities. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. This is also a card reminiscent of the Hierophant, because pontiff, church, Hierophant, bishop, and all of those priests and priestesses. Possibilities are endless. Look at how she's pointing to her brain, to her mind. Her heart's already okay. It's her mind that needs to check the thoughts. See the illumination going from her chest to her mind? Let your emotions dictate your thoughts for a couple of days instead of your thoughts dictating your emotions. If you feel like crap, change the way you feel into how you want to think. So if you're feeling poor, like, because it is a feeling, isn't it? Then pretend for like 4 seconds what it would feel like to be filthy rich right now, to have like an extra $3,000. What would you do with an extra $3,000 right now? You'd probably think it's not even enough in like 2 seconds, right? But by the time, but while it's not even in your mind, you're like, oh, an extra $3,000 would be great. Would it really though? Or would like an extra $30,000 be great? If $30,000 is great, why do you call $3,000 great? The possibilities are endless. So if $3,000 is okay and $30,000 is great, what about $300,000? Isn't that greater than $30,000? And in that time, you stop feeling poor because you're actually measuring large amounts of money, which is telling the universe you want all that money and possibility around you, and you're capable of handling it, and in your imagination, you've already spent it. And you had an emotional reaction to it. It's already done. You already have it. So, what have we gathered from a lot of this? From almost all of this? The way to help your mom is to help yourself. Change the way you think and feel about her. Take her out on a date. Take her out to the beach. Do something amazing for her. Get her some sex toys, maybe, if that's appropriate for you. Even if it's not, maybe do it anyway just to get her to laugh. Bring more humor into it. There's been a lot of stuff that happened in your mom's life and in yours that have caused you both to be very helpful but also very separate people. Come together. Spend some quality time together. And you'll notice the transformations taking place immediately. And closing advice for you, truly, sweetheart, change the way you think. If only this card would have come out, it would have been enough. You're both trying to help each other, and you don't realize that both of you are trapped. She's trapped in a world that doesn't see unicorns. She's trapped in a world where she can't be free to be with them, to show them that there's unicorns. So both of you being together in the same room will show each other that you're both okay, you're both fine, and then it's more important to connect with each other and just spend time together in a way that you haven't before. That way, those chains and prison bars and everything dissolve. And you see that the problem wasn't ever you. It was the beliefs ingrained within you over time. Because the reality is, all is really well. Your mom just has a sense of sadness in her. And helping her make that money isn't going to help her much. She's already the Empress. It's you that needs the money. And it's not even money. Money is energy. Money is a connection to source. Money is an expression of creative energy that flows through us so that we can create experiences for others. So if there's a lack of money, then there's a lack of caring for others. And I don't mean that offensively at all, it's just how it kind of works. So the first step, and I can actually vouch for this too, I've had a lot of experiences in life where money came to me endlessly when I was really, really, really wanting to help somebody else with it. Because it's a selfless desire. So it comes to you even quicker that way. So for you, my darling, I would say spend some quality time with your mom and change the way you think about her current situation. Because her current situation is the past already. It's a manifestation that occurred from the thoughts of the previous day. This is backed up by science. You can change the way people appear in your life by changing the way you think of them. So spend a couple of days affirming that everything's fine. Write it down, visualize, dream, imagine a different version of your mom. Then start having experiences with her. I mean, you can do this even today and just take her a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and be like, how are you, Mom? And really sit there and look her in the eye and wait for her to answer. And don't think what she's going to tell you. Allow her to tell you. Don't think about what she's going to say or do. Allow her to show you. Allow yourself to see her for who she is and not who you think she is. Oh, sweetheart, I hope this serves you. I intend that your mother be so wealthy that you never, ever, ever worry about her wealth again or her well-being. I intend that you be so healed and happy and wealthy and healthy on your own that the world around you thrives because of your existence. May you know the peace of a happily ever after in your life, darling. You deserve it. You're a good person. And everything's going to be okay from all of this, by the way. This entire reading was extremely positive, and there was absolutely nothing that says that there's negativity in any way coming your way. All of this basically showed that you just need to take a moment to breathe and allow yourself to perceive them for who they are, and to connect with your mother on a more deep level, however that applies for you. Alright, darling, may this serve you. Bye.